Hello again and welcome to another edition of Southern Country. Hi, I'm Herb and welcome to the show, my friends. Today we're at Van Zandt Airport in Erwinna, Pennsylvania. And Pauline is beside me. How you doing?
Hi, Herb. It's a pleasure to be back hosting the show once again.
Elizabeth's with me.
Herb, always a pleasure.
And Bar's with me. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Where's my hat?
I knew I left something home.
Doggone it, I feel out of place here.
All right.
Is that your pilot's hat, you mean? Or your
No, I want one like you guys got, so I can be part of the crew, but I do have a pilot.
So you're a cowboy at heart?
Yes, ma'am. From the South from 20 years. We were down there for 20 years, so yeah.
Okay.
Talk to us about Van Zandt Airport.
Boy, oh boy, you got 3 days? I could tell you
We
all
have
about
3
this
minutes.
place. It's got more history than almost any other airport on the East Coast. Everybody's got their own history, but what you see here, all these antique airplanes and gliders, that's what this airfield has been like since the 50s.
This is not Newark Airport?
Definitely not that way.
Good one, Herb.
Okay. Well, Elizabeth?
Well, tell us about your airplane that's behind us.
That is a 1928 Traveler. It's the oldest airplane on the field right now. And it was built by 3 very, very famous people. Walter Beach of Beechcraft, Clyde Cessna there's a Cessna behind us there, and Lloyd Stearman, which there's a Stearman there. We've got 6 Stearmans on the field, but this was their first venture together. So it's got a lot of history to it. My wife and I found this in an old barn in Georgia that had been stored there. It's the old barn, biplane in the barn story. It had been stored there for 30 years. It used to be a crop duster. We found it, took it down to Florida. We were based in Florida with our old twin sister ship, a Beechcraft, a Twin Beach down there. And we found this, and in 3 years we restored this one. Flew all around the southeast, all around Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, the Carolinas. And then finally this crew asked us to come back. I was born and raised here. So they asked us to come back with our Travel Air and do what we do here. And that's just having a grand old time, hopping rides, teaching how to fly old tailwheel airplanes. Anything old, you got my ears.
Nice.
And that's what we do here.
Pauline?
Well, Bar, I'll tell you what, we are so looking forward to doing this show with you and looking forward to hearing all about the history of Van Zandt Airport.
Excellent,
Thank you.
excellent. Look, you guys get me started, I can talk.
All right.
I just have to go fly now, otherwise I'd focus and I could tell you the whole history of this, because it's really, really interesting, and a lot about the airplanes too. Each one has got its own story. You guys saw all my stuff in the office? Each one of those helmets, pictures, letters, and all that, they've all got a story about Van Zandt.
Well, when we have more time, we're going to go in the office and take pictures of those.
Okay. I'm in the office in the mini airport with Danny. Danny runs the show here for the most part because behind every good man is a good woman.
That's right.
Great.
That's right.
Okay, so when you come here, Danny's the person that is going to help you decide what airplane you're going to ride in,
Yeah.
how long you're going to go. She's also going to hook you up with the pilot that's going to suit your needs.
Yeah.
What else can we do here?
Well, of course, the rides, and we do have instruction. And so we've got 2 biplanes, a glider, and a Cub. So
Okay.
you can choose how long you want to fly, and what we do is set up a reservation and get you all set up.
All right, my friends, we're walking around Van Zandt Airport here, and I run into Dave Potter. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing well, thank you, sir.
What's your job here?
I'm just a helper today.
What are we looking at?
We're looking at a Cessna. We're doing the annual on the, every year it needs an annual inspection.
And what's an annual inspection entail?
Where you service the struts, you check the spark plugs, you check the compression, you change the oil filter, air filter. Just mechanically check all the maintenance to make sure she's good for flight.
Now, it's annual or by hours?
This is by every year, once a year, yes.
So the hours did not play a factor into how often you do the annual?
I'm sure there could be some place in the FAA rules where so many hours you'd have to do it. I know for a student pilot it has to be done twice a year, but this is every year.
And whose plane is this?
This is my son, Wesley Potter's.
And you fly it, and you fly with him?
I fly with him.
How far does he go with this thing?
Well, he's going to school down at Embry-Riddle, and he's
Where's
taking
that?
it in Florida, Daytona Beach.
He flies this all the way to Daytona?
He has, yes.
How long does it take him?
He can do it in a day. Yeah,
How often does he have to land
He'll
to
stop
gas up?
three times for fuel.
Wow. And this thing goes all the way to Florida.
This has been to Florida a few times.
Wow. How many hour flight is that to Florida?
I think it probably takes about 15, 18 hours. It's a long day.
It's a little quicker than a car.
A little quicker than a car. Yeah.
How fast does it go with this thing?
It does about 110, I believe.
Well, you can do that with a car.
Yeah. But that time he stops and gets a break and coffee on the way down.
Well, Dave, thank you very much for being part of the show.
Thank you for coming to Van Sant.
Well, that's my pleasure.
All right. This part of our stop, we ran into Lynn and Dan. And Dan is the proud owner of this biplane right behind me. And Dan's going to share with us a little more about this biplane. Dan, tell us some more.
Well, this is a 1941 Waco UPF-7. It was registered on December 4th, 1941, and immediately went to work for the civilian pilot training program to teach pilots who fought in World War II. And that's part of the heritage with me. I wanted something that linked me to the service where my father served, and he was in the Navy though. But this airplane was just finished about a year ago, and that's about when I got it. And it's a dandy.
Yes, I'll say, and this must be part of the historic field here at Van Sant.
It is.
And who is the lovely Lynn here?
This is Lynn, my girlfriend. Lynn and I both lost our spouses in the past number of years, and I was looking for a diamond, and I found a gem right in my backyard.
Oh, wonderful. And Lynn, have you been up in this wonderful biplane?
I have.
It is certainly beautiful. How much time and effort do you put into keeping up such a wonderful, beautiful airplane?
Well, it was the shape when I got it, but after I'd done flying, I spent about a half hour rubbing the bugs off and cleaning her up so she's all ready with a big smile for her next flight. So it's all part of the process. It's a great airplane. The winner last year at Oshkosh, the air show, and it is a fine airplane. It flies just as well as it pleases the eye. It's a good flyer.
Yeah, wonderful. And I know you shared with us some pages out of a magazine. What magazine was that again?
That's Sport Pilot or Sport Aviation. It's an EAA publication, and they featured me in one of their articles. It was interviewed last year at the big air show in Oshkosh. So it just finally, after a year, got in there, and I am even got a bigger swelled head than ever now.
Oh, wonderful. Let me ask you one final question. Do you take passengers up? Do people rent an opportunity to go up in this wonderful, beautiful biplane?
One time I gave a guy a ride, he gave me a case of beer.
Oh, okay.
Technically I'm a private pilot and not allowed to charge people for rides, but people can chip in for gas. But Lynn and I are out for a date. We came for a Blue Max burger at this fine,
Wow.
little dinner shack over here. So this is an outing for us.
How sweet and romantic is that? Well, there you go. Another fine time at Van Sant Airport. Thank you.
All right, I'm here by this 126 Orange glider. That is the first glider that most glider pilots fly in solo.
Well, Peter, I'm not going to be flying this thing solo. I'm just going to sit here and look cute.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. But if you have any questions about the glider...
And Peter, I'm just going to stand here and look cute. Okay. You tell us about the glider.
Okay, well, as you can see, there are a variety of steam gauge instruments in the glider and a release for the tow rope. And here is the stick that allows you to control the glider in the 3 axes. And you can see the control surfaces moving as you shift it back and forth. And then finally, you have something akin to a brake. If you want to pull back on this handle right here, you can see the speed brakes come out, and that actually controls your rate of descent and is also has a brake on the main wheel and allows you to stop quickly when you land in a field, God knows where. What do you think of that?
I think my first ride up will be with somebody piloting it.
That's a good idea.
I'm here with Gil. He's with Freedom's Wings, and this is his glider. And I don't really know a whole lot about gliders, so tell me a little bit about your organization and how you get these up off of the ground and how you get them back down.
Okay. Freedom's Wings International is an adaptive sport group. It's been around for over 30 plus years. We give instructions and inspirational rides for people with disabilities. We have all levels of disabilities. Most of them are people who are quadriplegic, paraplegics. Some people are blind. Some people have other kinds of developmental disabilities, children. And I'm an instructor and also a pilot.
And how long have you been doing this with this organization?
Approximately 15 years.
Wow. And what do you think is the most rewarding thing, or the most rewarding part of it for you?
For me, it's when a lot of people come out from a rehab hospital and they come as a kind of a cohesive group of people who have supported each other through their rehabilitation therapies. And they come and they really get into the flying and the gliding, and they help each other get over their fear of flying. And it's just great to hang around those people because they have a lot of positive energy and they've overcome obviously something that's been devastating in their lives. So yeah. I love that part of it.
Now tell me, how do you get this up off the ground?
We have to rely on a tow plane, which is behind us, and we have an umbilical cord or a tow line, a rope. And it's very simple. We just attach ourselves to that plane and he gives us the power to be able to go up, and we get to around 3,000 feet and we pull what we call a release. It just releases the rope from the tow plane and then we're on our own.
And how long do you get to stay up?
It varies from the day and the conditions, the weather conditions. Sometimes it's only 25-minute flight, which we call a sled ride because it's all downhill. Sometimes it's the whole day long from the time the thermals start till dusk.
Well, but if you want to come down right away, you can.
You just like this has all the planes like a normal plane, and it just doesn't have the engine, and it uses gravity to create the forward motion that then gives us its thrust, as opposed to a power plane which has a motor.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, maybe one day I'll have the bravery, the nerve to get in one.
It's the nicest form of flight. It's what all flight started out with. It was all motorless flight and small planes like this.
Well, Gil, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time and you sharing about your
Thank
organization.
you very much.
It's time to wrap up this edition of Southern Country here at the Van Zandt Airport. Pauline, thank you very much.
Well, you're certainly welcome, Herb. And I hear this place behind us is great for burgers. And I'm waiting to have my burger.
Burger sounds good. Elizabeth, thank you.
Thank you very much. I heard that this place is a place worth flying into.
There's a couple that flew into this place just for the burgers.
I know, the Blue Max burger.
Absolutely. We learned a lot today about the historical part of this airport.
We did, and I can't wait to go for a ride.
Historical part, what do you like about it?
Just the scenery is just absolutely breathtaking and beautiful. Just
the biplanes and the gliders, we had a lot of fun.
We did. I'll be back.